Hey, welcome to another episode of The Recap. I ask that you make sure you hit the thumbs up button, please. That would be helpful. Today on The Recap, we'll just be talking about an array of things that have just popped up on my phone, so don't be scared. It is what it is. As always, once again, thanks for coming. I have some guests stopping by. Hey, Miss T. And if you would like to pop on as well, I'll drop the link in the chat if you can. Let's do an email. Because there's a few things that we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, I'll bring on one of the first guests, Mr. Hey. Really, man? Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, nothing much. Thank you for joining. Basically, on this episode of The Recap, we'll be talking about, like I said, array of things dealing from, of course, people started getting their stimulus checks this week. So that's interesting for some, and hopefully it's helped out in whatever way it could. We also have this TikTok thing that came across my stream today. These high school students did a racist TikTok, and I will be showing it to you guys and sharing it with you all and getting your thoughts and feedback, and then to talk about some other things like we talked about on the Gentleman's Panel about colorism and all those kind of things. And anything else anybody wanted to talk about or address, that's what it's for. So without further ado, where shall we start? Let's start with the high school students. So these Carrollton seniors were expelled for a racist video, and they will not be graduating, the district administrator said. So we shall see if that works, but I will show you the video. It's a bit graphic, so just be prepared to feel some type of way. That's all I can say. But hold on one second, I'll pull this up.
Hey, today we're making
niggers.
First we have black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty black.
Yeah. Next we have don't have a dad.
I'm a dad. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have eat watermelon and fried chicken.
Fried chicken,
Yeah.
watermelon. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's yeah.
Next one is make good choices.
But nothing there. Next we have rob people.
Specifically whites. Yeah, they do that.
Last one is
Go to jail.
And that's the video in its entirety. Okay, so
unbelievable.
I mean, first it was, are you serious? That was my initial thought. Like, are we serious? Then, as I watched it one other time, it just brought to reality the stereotypes that have been pushed and continue to be pushed, not only through other things like movies, but the media as well, is the reason why a lot of these people think that we are the only ones that do these things. When in actuality, they do more crimes and commit more outlandish things than we do. But of course, it's always perpetrated that we are the ones that steal and have no ambition and all these other things. It doesn't surprise me, right? That is very true. Um, but in a day and age where in which everything can get you reprimanded, from calling on people barbecuing to all these other things, I'm surprised that these teenagers thought it was not going to be looked at and scrutinized. I'm just confused.
I mean, just even, it's like they've taken our culture hostage already.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I mean, because they're listening to rap music.
Right, you'll be listening to rap music.
Exactly. A lot of our themes.
Exactly.
You're sitting up now, and we all like watermelon. That whole watermelon. We go crazy for chicken,
Right.
but it's weird because I'm wondering where they are. Where are they at? Is that a Southern place? I didn't know if they had a Southern accent. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. I think it's Georgia. I think. Hold on, if I read that correctly. Carroll County School District Attorney and District. Blah, blah, blah,
I wouldn't be surprised because Georgia has a lot of outlying little areas that are very racial. Very racist. Atlanta. People always think of Atlanta when they think of Georgia.
Right.
There's a lot of little rural areas.
Right.
That you may see a Confederate flag still.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Very true. Yeah, I'm thinking it's Georgia because this article came from Atlanta News, the Atlanta Journal, but possibly. No, doesn't say. Doesn't say. But let's see if I can pull up where the school is. Yeah, I find that to be absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I mean, but then again, it doesn't surprise me with the nature of, it's in Georgia. The nature of the country. I mean, you have a president that wouldn't mind saying these same things. No, it's not Carroll County, it's Carrollton County. It's in Georgia. It's a county in Georgia.
They've become emboldened, just.
Yeah, well, I mean, how more can you become emboldened from coming from the top? I mean, if the top is spewing it, the president of the United States is spewing it, anybody on the lower totem pole that feel that way would feel like they're even protected with their speech from the president himself. So it's just real crazy. But anyway, hey, what's up, Official D Spot? What's going on? Welcome to everybody in the chat.
What's up? What's up, y'all?
Just quickly to go over what we just talked about just a few minutes ago was basically the 2 high school students that have been expelled and they won't be graduating due to their racist video that went viral on TikTok. Basically, it's supposed to be making black people, I guess, and just all these things that they assume that we do and eat. It's just ridiculous.
How ironic at this time period when people are automatically getting pushed to the next grade because of COVID-19.
Right. Or not being allowed to graduate, period, because of it. Or, so I don't even know if the school board saying that they're being expelled and all this kind of stuff at this point, does it even matter?
Right.
I don't know.
The whole thing of, and what, I think that guard that they had, that old guard that were more outright racist.
Right.
It was cool to be in blackface and make, caricatures of black people.
Mm-hmm.
Remember like the old Tom and Jerry cartoons?
Right, yeah.
When they had the mammy on there, that was real, this whole
in the tube socks and the
whole big pink lips and just an over exaggeration of us.
Right.
And it's like they are probably like the grandkids of that generation.
Mm-hmm.
So you could sit around and the older people that talked about it, but those kids are definitely a minority because, a lot of the white kids are listening to more rap music than their black counterparts.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's necessarily true. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of this, we need to definitely have more discussions about it. We definitely need to um, shine a light on a lot of this to, I guess, bring awareness to the simple fact that if we keep ignoring this and keep kumbayaing it and keep wanting to have like marches or kind of come to Jesus meetings, will we ever get to a point where we could just say like, I don't know, that whole Martin Luther King thing where it's like, where we all come together as one? Will there ever be a time? Will we ever see such a time to where in which none of this stuff would even matter, or will this continuously be?
Hold on, let me catch this real quick.
No problem. Underlining race issues. So I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Yeah, that's true. They were happy enough that they would show their stupid faces. I just think it's, yeah. I'm starting to think so too. I don't think we will ever get to a place. What you say? I don't care as long as they stay 6 feet away from me. That part is true too. That part is definitely true. As long as you keep your distance.
You know what? I was saying back to because I got a little distracted with that call. Oh, no. I remember my family's the East Texas town that a lot of my family is. I remember as a kid, I had a white friend that I used to always play with, and we would ride bikes. And kids are not innately racist. It's like that racist mindset is cultivated. And I remember going to his mother they had a trailer that they lived in, and we were outside, and he went inside, and I heard his mother say, I don't want, you're back hanging with that little N. I don't want that little N in my house. And I heard him tell her, Mom, that's my friend. And he was going back and forth with her. But how karma works is now he has 4 biracial children with a black girl.
Wow.
And it was that old. And when I go back to the town, because my family has a cemetery there. So when I go back to visit the towns, the makeup has changed over a period of 20 years. Now you're seeing little curly haired children, maybe kids, and some of those old families, those old white families, their daughters and grandkids have crossed the line into
but that's what brought forth this whole era of Trump. Is them same grandparents and parents who've been very fearful of this change in their genetic makeup to where in which it's not fully white anymore. It's starting to be more of a mixed thing when which it brings fear to them, and like I've said before, I've said this tons of times, the whole attack on abortion is not necessarily so women can't, have abortions. It's so white women don't abort white babies so they can continue to push out, more Caucasian babies and therefore kind of strengthen their race again.
We're being a minority. Because genetically, Black is more of a dominant. So, and then the Hispanic population
is growing too. Yeah.
So, you're looking at Texas becoming more Hispanic.
Right.
And those the older white people are looking at, we're going to be the minority. It's a fear, because we are changing. People are evolving. We are changing, as far as in my family, there are 4 family members that are married to white people. Like my sister one of my sisters and my first cousins, but they're all their children identify as Black people.
Right. Right.
So, that's like it was a person told me before, well, Obama, he doesn't even claim his white side. And, how dare he not claim? Because they really wanted to have a problem with Obama regardless.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I said, you picture Obama going up to his white girlfriend's family back in the day and saying, you know what? I don't claim the Black part. I'm a white man.
Right.
Obama looks like Obama is not one of those biracial people like Halsey or someone else that can pass for white.
Right.
He looked like me or your uncle.
Right.
That's just their fear of being. Their fear is they feel that they're going to be consumed and they're going to get lost. Not unlike the American Indians.
Right.
When the last time anyone saw an American Indian, a Comanche, Navajo, Cherokee, you don't see it because they've been absorbed into us.
Right.
They've been absorbed in, if we saw an Indian person now, we would probably think that they were Hispanic.
Right.
It's definitely that fear. And
yeah, it definitely is. I don't know. I think they just need to get over it at this point. Hey, what's going on, Rico?
Hey, Rico.
They need to get over it. I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what else they need to do, but they definitely need to get over it. But all right, on the political side of things, there's been a proposal going around Congress talking about a $2,000 monthly stimulus check.
I saw that.
Canceled rent and mortgage payments for a year. Now, there has been a particular city run by a younger gentleman. I think he's just turned 30 or he'll be 30. He's the mayor. I can't, the city off the top of my head, it's not coming to me, but he has a program to where in which low-income families get stipends. They did it as an experiment to kind of see if that would help kind of usher people out of low poverty levels. And it seems to be working, so much so that a lot of other states kind of starting to or looking into adopting some kind of monthly stipend to help push people out of low-lying poverty levels. So anyway, due to this whole, virus thing, Congress is talking about doing a $2,000 a month stimulus because this one-time payment won't be enough. It'll be temporary, but then what happens next month and what happens the month after next if it continues? So this is what Congress is pushing for. There's a lot of stipulations to it. As far as who would qualify, who wouldn't. So what do you think about that idea?
What, Cap, with that could be a bit problematic because $2,000 looks different in Houston as opposed to New York.
Exactly.
LA. So even in Texas, there's a definite difference in what 2,000 will do here compared to Austin. Right. Or 2,000 may go a long way in Alabama or Mississippi.
Right.
Those places. And then what about your socioeconomic status that you're at? Someone that's making six figures, maybe they have a higher mortgage. That 2,000 is not going to do anything, for them.
Right.
And, do you tell different states that you're only allowed this amount or this, Right.
Well, here's some of the eligibility for it. You have to be area American, 16 years or older, making less than $130,000 for a single person. Married couples, $260, and at least $4,000 per month. Qualifying families with children will receive an additional $500 per child, up to 3 children. Those who had no earnings or unemployed are currently receiving unemployment will also be eligible for the stimulus. And those who are not eligible in 2019 and 2018 would be eligible for the 2020. They could submit 2 months of paychecks to verify eligible income.
I think it would be, I do think that would be a good thing. I think because this whole stimulus thing is basically putting a bandage on something that needs stitches.
Right.
You know,
And again, it's not even like you're giving anything. All they're doing is giving you your money back. That's it. Whatever money you have at some point put into government, it is giving you your own money back. It is not, this is not no kind of, I've been holding this on the side for you. This is extra to what? No, this is just your money back. That's all it is. So I don't know. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was saying, like, during this time, I feel guilty because, I see you showing them guns, but
you know what?
I feel a little guilty because it's like this is working out better for me right now because other people that are without work, I still go to work and I'm getting paid more to go to work for less days. Right. So I feel guilty for those people that have been laid off, that work in, restaurants or the hospitality. But I do think that the $2,000 will go. It will help a lot of people. And I do think they need to just iron out the kinks in it.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think there are people that worked hard to get to the status that they're at, and I don't think you should look at their income and it should go according to what income they're at. Because this $1,200, that was one person's rent for a month. Right. So you paid your rent, but what am I going to do next month?
Not even any overdraft fees or anything like that. That got taken out as well. So then you're still short. You know what I'm saying? So if the $1,200 you were going to use to cover rent and maybe some other expenses, any money that came out from overdraft fees or anything of that nature, you're still going to be short. So
right.
It's just, I don't know. There's just a huge problem altogether. And then they're talking about opening up some of the beaches and all that kind of stuff. I think this is just going to be a whole mess until we can test everyone and everybody can be tested. I just think you just put more people at risk. I know keeping it closed holds back the economy to an extent, but a lot of this is just political. A lot of this is so you can show that the country is doing well, or you can show that you didn't really mess this up as much as you did. To try and sweep it under the rug, but it's too late. It's too late. And I think the more, if we rush to open, there's going to be a lot more people in the grips of this thing. So.
It's the domino effect. And even where I was looking at something on YouTube, or was it Facebook, where they were showing in one country, they had the bodies in the water. They had people that had died from COVID-19. They had them. I saw the bodies on the beach being pushed into the water. Wow. So that's going to have a domino effect because their marine life is going to be consuming those bodies. And we'll be catching the marine life that is back into our systems. Is going to be that whole circle of life thing where it's going to come back to us one way or another. So I do think that they need to people are trying to get back into the workforce, but we definitely don't want to go back in there and we have another wave hit us because we're still not even over this first wave. So you push us to go to work in May. Then
his thought process is that he'd rather he asked the actual the person in in charge of the infectious disease department if there was a possible way to just basically let it spread, like let it just run through everybody, and therefore you'll build like a mass immunity from it if you just let it run through everybody at the cost of lives, of course.
But what if that's your family member that
right,
is
but that's
if
the
that was
thing.
your family member,
Right. But that's the thing. A lot of people don't think about it like that because it hasn't attached to them personally. And when things don't attach to you personally, you don't look at it as, well, doing this could kill massive people, even people in my family. You just look at it like, well, it'll kill them. It won't get me.
right?
And, that's not the case. In some cases, there have been people that, famous people that you think you'd have the money to not even include yourself in these circles, and they have it. So, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And being that we don't even know the level or the severity of it, even at this point, I just think it's crazy. It is
And
crazy.
even remember, like that goes back to even the early AIDS epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
those people were catching it.
Right.
Not the others.
Right.
But when it crossed over and it became,
It was a gay disease.
oh my God. It's not just a gay disease.
Right.
It's affecting all of us.
Right.
So I think if you can come up with a pill that helps with erectile problem,
Dysfunction.
you definitely. I think this whole thing is another country will come up with, the cure before us, because we're going to have to go through all these loopholes to get it approved. Whereas somewhere, that's not going to have all those loopholes will just pass through.
Yeah. And then too, with the loopholes, sometimes it's just so they make sure certain companies can get the okay, because those companies are backed by Congress. People have an interest in them as far as stock is concerned and all those kind of things. As we know, stuff starts coming out about people with their insider trading deals and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot more messier than.
And this has gotten real because when have we ever had people that you could talk to someone and they know someone that knows someone that passed away from the flu?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
For me to know two people that have passed away from COVID-19. Right.
And I know a few people that are infected right now, that have it right now. That is like, wow. So it makes you nervous, and you don't want to live in fear or anything like that, but it makes you nervous to the extent of when you hear people, oh, we're going to open up the beaches, we're going to get back to normal, but we don't even know who has it and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, until you know that, then why would we be opening up anything? Because we then, again, risk more lives doing this, opening up, just, let's get back to normal. Let's go back to life as normal. Let's get back to work. Okay, you get back to work. God forbid one of your coworkers have it and then infect the whole building.
Right. Because there's been a few people at the hospital that I've known that have been infected that are in different departments because right before it happened, they went out of town somewhere. I know a lady that's recuperating at home now. Her husband and her son have all caught it from each other.
Wow.
And then that's the sad story of the woman that it was a woman, I forgot where she was, what city or state, but she lost her son, her only son, and her husband to this.
Right.
So it's affecting everyone.
Right. It's definitely real. And it definitely shows the disparity in health, overall health awareness, access to health between communities of color and others. And it's big, it's vast. I mean, people now talk about I feel appalled by the level of disparities in the health community in communities of color, but it's been that way. And you didn't feel no way about it until this hit. Now all of a sudden you feel some type of way about it.
It's affecting it's our problem. everyone's problem now.
Right. So that's crazy. So getting away from that news, coming on the YouTube side, it's been one of my favorite characters, Miss Craig.
Or some sort of Mr. Craig.
Oh, okay. Well, Miss Craig. Was it Ness No Mess? She said some things about not being taken seriously in her woman persona and how she was able to reach more people being Craig.
And you know what? That's laughable. You reached more people because you were doing more, you were acting crazier as Craig. Of course, you were going to get more of a reaction by being Craig because we thought you were like, you had the persona of single white female. So you acting like you were obsessed with Jay Wilson.
Right.
You know, yeah, we thought that was weird. And some people were actually afraid, you know, and fearful, you know, worried. That the Craig person, you know, I was thinking, Jay, you better be careful because you go to a meet and greet. Craig may be in a way down sitting on your bed when you come in there, you know.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, and you're saying it's a social experiment.
Yeah. No, I don't believe that. I personally believe that if she wasn't discovered, she would have continued. And she would have just continued. But that was her mistake. I mean, you can't have the camera, you know, make sure your camera's right first before you even get on somebody's StreamYard.
Because this is all we saw. This is all what we would see.
Right. That's it. Right. Well, no, the one time she messed up, because even when she did that, she still had her makeup on for when she was doing her actual thing. So you saw the makeup on her eye.
Looking like she came there looking like Holiday Heart, but you still sitting up acting like, girl, if you don't sit your behind down somewhere.
I mean, it was interesting. I will say she has talent. I mean, she's definitely talented. I mean, for somebody to, you know, totally switch your voice like that and carry on a whole persona, a good 45 minutes of just you being this person the whole way through. Either that or you totally batshit crazy,
to say the least.
You know, and you need to go get checked out somewhere. But I mean, the banter back and forth was funny. I just, you know, the area in which you're dealing with. Some people like it a little more messy. So yeah, Craig was messy. So of course you're going to get more response from a Craig than you would yourself, unless you decided to get into that realm like Craig does with your thing. So,
but even just imagine that being your moderator that has that's giving you that's gooped you. Because Craig, you know, that Mess No Mess played Nicole.
Right.
She thought, so you were a whole different person. And
when trolling goes wrong.
Okay, right. You know, you were a whole different person, but this was the content creator. You couldn't even have been real with her. You were carrying on, and then even going on Mess No Mess saying, Rebel, this guy is lying. It's like you tried to blackball me by making it like I was on this campaign making up a lie on you. Rebel is lying on me. He's sitting up there. And I was like, and you're talking, and I see Craig still.
Right.
Looking like you was in Jumping Jack Flash. Girl, don't come playing with me.
So were you infatuated with Craig? Because that's the rumor that you were infatuated.
You know what? I was infatuated. I must admit, I was infatuated. And I thought that we would adopt us two little wrenches.
Okay.
You know, have us a couple of little troll kids. And,
all right.
You know, we would have Jay, you know. Jay would be, He would officiate the wedding.
Oh, why not? Exactly. Yeah, that could work.
And Jess would be the maid of honor.
Okay.
Her and Lynn T would be my maids of honor and this beach.
Okay.
So, and I would have flower girls and everything.
Okay, you could do the whole thing up.
Then have a stripper, dancing on a pole as well to make it a little different and exciting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you would marry an unfaced man? You would marry an unfaced man because Craig didn't have no face; he just had the side.
Of course, I would marry Craig and bear his children. We'd get a surrogate.
Oh, okay.
Jess would be our surrogate.
Okay. How you doing, number one caller? Welcome.
Hey, number one caller.
That is crazy. That is crazy. So what else is going on the YouTube streets? I don't really follow too much going on, but I
Uh-oh. I know that look.
No. No, it's not about that.
Because you know what? Let me say something. You had that same look before those questions came.
No, I didn't. No.
Right.
No, I don't have any questions. No questions. But I was kind of watching some things. I did hear that QB's channels have been taken down. That's interesting. I don't know.
I would be fearful of that happening.
Do
you have you had any strikes or have anyone any copyrighted stuff? Because I've had some.
Well, I've had some copyrighted stuff, and I've done the whole disputed, and most of them came back and they were fine. Yeah, so that's about as much as I've gotten. But as far as like anybody striking down to where in which the channel gets taken away, no. I haven't had it.
It's funny because you heard Brother Jay was saying, who was that? He said, Rita, is it okay if I use this, Rita? Rita, right. Is it okay?
Right.
Rita? Right. It was like, he didn't put it up either.
No.
That was funny as hell to me, but.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you do have to, I guess in where which you report
now. QB has another channel now.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. I guess in the way in which you report news on YouTube, you have to find a way to where in which you're not necessarily posting people's stuff, so that way they don't.
But Cap, let's just keep it real. When people do the news is going to be biased. It's going to be biased. I mean. From what I see now, people are not going to talk about those people that they like. If they roll with a certain camp, they're not going to say anything going on with the person that they're cool with. Mm-hmm. People can say, I come on here and I give the news and I give it like it. No, because if you're cool with a certain person, if you're cool with groups of people, you're not gonna give the news on them.
Right.
It's gonna lean. It's almost like thinking Fox News is not gonna be. They're not gonna push no nice news about the Democrats. They're not gonna be saying a lot of things about the Democrats that's gonna be in their favor. Right. They're gonna always find something to give a little, let me say a little something, not to give them too much. But it's on both sides. If you like this group of people, you're going to lean that way. If you like that one, you're going to lean that way. And that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. But I don't know. Well, hopefully, I mean, personally, it's like how long could you go back and forth with somebody?
It becomes draining.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, how far can you go back and forth? After a while, doesn't it become minute? Doesn't it become draining? Doesn't it become a whole lot of things that it's like, okay, do people start to lose interest? Are you that much invested in it that you just will constantly watch this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth? I don't know. I
think when I've subscribed to YouTubers, and it gets to a point where it becomes nasty.
Mm,
When it starts having a nasty underlying element to it,
right.
I back away because
Yeah.
it's not fun and it's not.
I mean, it should be fun and light. I mean, granted, that's why we're all here. We can't, sit here and say, "Oh no, I'm not here for, cracking jokes or anything like that." Because we all have our moments where where we may crack a joke here and there, but it's to a level of the digging, the all the other personal information, the photos, the pictures, the videos, all that stuff. I think, and of people that may not be attached to YouTube or anything like that, I think that's where it goes way beyond the pale. And, we start to really like, okay, well, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And yeah, other groups may do it. Other parts of YouTube may do the same exact thing. But it still don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? Like people say, oh, these other sectors do it too. Yeah, but it still don't make it right. It doesn't, I don't think it validates it in any way.
Even though with my little roasting parodies, you can go into the person's chat because you're not beefing or getting into it with the person.
Mhm.
Cap. I may say she looked like a giant hairless tree shrew, but then it is we're roasting each other. I'm not gonna call your job, or I'm not gonna post dead relatives pictures and go to that extent because I'm just gonna verbally spar with you. I'm not going to. We know we can't put people's pictures up on our platforms.
Mhm.
We just can't violate the YouTube guidelines because people can't strike us if we do that.
Right. Yeah. And you have to be mindful of that. And this is not a thing about being a coward and or backing down from someone. It's just,
Is Tracy in the chat? Someone said, "Hey, Miss Man, Tracy, you in here? Miss Man, Tracy's in here."
no, Miss Manny to you.
Oh, Miss Manny. My bad.
What is your grudge? I don't know her that well. I mean, I've watched her a little bit.
But I've known him for a while now.
Okay.
But I mean, enough about,
Yeah.
that kind gentleman. But
Hey, Tracy, how you doing?
I do think that, people can roast, but when you talk about people's, the health, let me tell you, health statuses and
Right, yeah, all that kind of stuff is
ridiculous. Who the hell are you to tell people that they should to show health statuses?
Rico said, what
Absolutely
did you say?
not.
Rico said, what did you say?
I said that she was a giant hairless tree shrew.
Well,
The same woman that can say, Rico, we're good, but this same woman that can talk about my health status that she knows nothing about,
yeah,
I'll call her mangy mutt.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah, that part I think is a bit much. When you calling out people's health statuses that you, whether you know it or not, you violate laws when you do that. You violate real actual laws that are out there to protect people's statuses and stuff of that nature getting out. So you want to be careful when you kind of perpetrate that on a public platform like YouTube. That's a heads up.
Roasting and gagging is what it is. I like people that other people I'm cool with don't like.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm cool with them. We're not in high school. I'm not going to jump and fight against someone that's done nothing to me.
Right. Yeah.
Now if you're doing something like trying to get people fired from work and you're doing extra like that, I'm not for that. I don't support anyone that's doing that.
Very true. And sometimes if you do support them and you find them just say nothing. I mean, I've had my moment to where in which I thought, I was just speaking my mind and it went totally left and it was like, okay, cool, got it. say no more. But I'm not gonna stop being me and stop being who I am. And if I feel like something is out of place, out of order, I'm gonna speak on it. And that's just for me. That's just speaking personally for me. How you how you may personally see something is you, and I'm open to hear, the difference of opinion. And I think we should all be entitled to have a difference. We can agree to disagree. As adults, that's what we should do. And being that we all mainly are adults here, we should be able to, if you disagree, come together, talk about it. And you don't have to, be at the end, oh, kumbaya, I really understand you. You could still not see it for that person. At least you talked it out. You said what you had to say and keep it moving.
But you can't co-sign. Let me tell you something. You are a different type of stupid when you co-sign something that you know is wrong. If you sit up and say, my brother jumped on his wife and he beat his wife up, but she had to do something for him to beat her up. Right. You're a man jumping on a woman.
Right.
And you're just going to say, that's my brother. My brother can do no wrong. I'm going to follow my brother over the cliff. And it's like,
right.
Are you serious? Are you going to really sit up and just say yes to everything?
Right. Hey, Reed, how you doing? Rico, you want to cool that down just a tad. He said he was going to check you as soon as he gets to it.
Well, we can have some dialogue, Rico.
I
like Jay Wilson, though. Just be aware of it.
And what is that like?
He's more passive.
Oh, okay.
Jay Wilson, he's easygoing, but I don't have it again.
Well, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's the show for many people. It's a show, and they do whatever puts on a good show. That's what it is. But a lot of us are different. Some of us, it's about the message, and sometimes I'd rather the message go out, and it be more impactful than just putting on a good show. Oh, did you freeze? Oh yeah, you froze. Or did I freeze? Y'all knew that. Hello, you're back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't have an opinion. Y'all knew that. No, who knew that? What do you mean?
You can't have an opinion. Thought y'all knew that. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
No, I didn't. I didn't necessarily know that you couldn't have an opinion. I learned that you couldn't have an opinion, and coming from someone who's grown up my whole entire life, beatings and all, with an opinion, that wasn't happening. That's not happening. It's not going to happen as an adult. It didn't happen as a child. So I'm just not. I'm not built that way.
And I've noticed this. The thing, even like I had an uncle that you always put his hands on his girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to tell them, now this is my uncle. And I'm telling them, why are you putting up with that? He shouldn't be putting, if they came to me telling me this,
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't insert myself. But if the girls would come to me, I generally got along with them. But I would tell my uncle, dude, you're wrong for that.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up watching my grandfather fight on my grandma as a little boy. Why would you do that to these women?
Right.
I'm not going to stand with him because he's my uncle. That's wrong, what you're doing. So I think that people get caught up with, you don't like me because I'm cool with a person that you're beefing with.
Right.
I think people want to drag you into it a lot of times.
All right. Let me say this before this person comes on.
Let me get right in here.
Yeah, get ready. Be respectful. Say what you got to say, but don't go too far. All right. That's all I can say.
Hey, Captain Bay Christian.
Hey, what's going on, Rico?
What up, though?
Not much chilling. What's up?
Yeah, so like I told you, I'm out and about right now. Like
You did.
so like I don't have that much time.
Where's your
Like
mask? Your mask.
my mask is like right here.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so Rebel, I'm be respectful to you, Captain Bane Christian.
Mm-hmm.
But Rebel, you should not be talking about no Tracy or nobody because that's how you got your following. You are the same person that's up here wearing wigs, wearing makeup, this and that and the third, and then trying to talk about her. But you imitating her. You imitate her. So my point is, I don't always agree with what Tracy does or whatever, but I respect her as a person. And the reason why she does the things that she does is because people be coming at her and she only defending herself. Ain't nobody talking about when people went up to her job in San Antonio when y'all was all there in San Antonio and knowingly Jay Wilson and all y'all knew.
No, we didn't. That's a lie.
Job.
No, we did not, Rico. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie. We did not know that. And I didn't sit up there and co-sign. I didn't do it. I wouldn't go to someone's job because I don't follow people blindly. If they did that, they did that because of something that Tracy did. When Tracy was talking about
it right?
HIV,
was it right though? It wasn't right.
But they had a history with each other. That wasn't something that just happened. They just didn't go to her job just to go up there. This is after people had doxed and did other things. And I don't know everything that happened between them. I like Tracy. At one time, I was a subscriber of Tracy's. But when she was talking about people with HIV and I've lost family and friends, I couldn't ride. I jumped off that bandwagon because
no. Let me correct this. She not talking about everyone with HIV. She's talking about one particular person, and that's Deadface Chopper over there. So I
doesn't know my status.
I still stand by that with Chopper. I don't like him, and that is what it is. So if she continues to clown him and say what she says about him, I all for it. Because he was disrespectful and he keep posting her dead mother in a casket and keep thinking that that's funny. That's
not anyone's posting. When they did Patricia, I didn't agree with that.
But when she continues to keep dragging him about his status and about the way that he walk and being a street walker and all this and that, I don't feel no empathy or sympathy for him because she's not talking about me personally.
She's okay with dragging me because I'm not a Chopper fan. But let me say this, for her to say, I have AIDS, you don't know my health status.
That's not cool.
And then you sitting up here saying I had cerebral palsy, I can clearly stand up and do a split. So why are you sitting up there saying I had some type of physical deformity when you were lying? And then you said, what about Rebel's mother? You're trying to say because people did this to you, it's okay. I didn't think it was, when they posted her, I thought that was disgusting. I never co-signed that. But when you said you hope the plane crashed when people went to Atlanta, that's a bit extreme.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so my thing is I will continue to keep dragging Chopper and she's going to continue to keep dragging Chopper because Chopper ain't nothing but a troublemaker, a S-starter, and all this and that. And he wants sympathy. And he want to play that card just to get sympathy off his status. When the main person, VS, is the one that put his status out. And like I said, he kept running back to her. He ain't do nothing.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Rico,
Rebel, I have a question for you, Rebel. I have a question just for you, Rebel. I know that you back for Tracy, and that's cool. I mean, found me, I don't have an issue. But my question is, remember that time you was having your moment of your breakdown and people were calling in trying to help you and support you. You do know that she was running it the same time on her platform as you were going through and people were asking, oh, have Tracy come on, somebody and she never came over to my knowledge. I was watching in the chat and I didn't see her come over, but I did see that she was live streaming it on my own channel. Do you feel some type of like? How does that make you feel? Do you still feel supported or? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can.
He ain't responding.
Can you hear him, Rico?
Can you hear me?
I hear him. I hear you.
Okay, so did you still feel
With
supported?
your
by-
head to the side, got the nerve to keep talking about Tracy. You probably do got cerebral palsy.
No, I'm asking. My question was to
Really,
you.
Rico? Really?
My question was
I'm
to
gonna stick
you.
up for my girl Tracy. Period.
Okay, that's all. That's all.
Yeah, I still say she's a
That's all.
giant hairless tree hole.
And you the same. You the same thing because you dress up like her. You imitate
Yes,
her.
I do. Yes.
So you are the same thing.
Also, in movies.
You are what you eat.
Yeah, but I wouldn't eat that even on Fear Factor, Rico.
I doubt it. Yeah, but you kissed up Jay Wilson, the Jack Pastor over there, and you all up his behind.
Wait, why we gotta go?
Well, why do we have to go from Tracy to Jay
Go ahead,
Wilson?
ask your question, Captivating Christian, because I don't want to get too much off.
Yeah, please. What's your question? No, I asked my question already. You said you would rock with Tracy regardless. You didn't feel no type of way about that, and I just felt like as someone who you look up to and you protect, at times where you've had moments where in which you needed help and somebody to say, "Hey, man, get off of there." You would think she would have been the main one, kind of being there for you, shielding you, telling you to, hey, get down from there. And it's like at times where in which she should have done that, she's used it to, bring people to her platform to see you go through whatever it was you were going through. And I just think that was a bit of that's a bit of a mistake on her.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about that. Like I said, when I was expressing my whole situation and I had to go off on Chocolate Bay and everything, I didn't know that she was streaming my live. You know what I'm saying? Someone in the chat told me to call her this and that and third. So no, I didn't know that. But I didn't actually have a problem with it because I mean, because it's gonna get out there anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I actually didn't have a problem with it.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So, gentlemen, have you all? I guess you all have your stance. He will continue to do his parodies of Tracy. You will continue to support.
And I gotta do me a parody of Rebel Son too. I sure will.
And I would be honored for you to do that, Rico.
You said what?
I'd be honored for you to do that. Do a parody of me.
Okay. Well, I'll let you get back to your. I'll let you get back to whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, I'm at the grocery store right now, so
okay.
That's what I'm out right now.
You getting some rice?
Huh?
You getting some rice?
Yes, because I love rice. Yes, I love rice. Can I get some more rice, please, with some butter, extra butter, and some salt? Yes. But I come back on once I get settled and get back to the house and stuff like that. If you still on, I come back.
Okay, I probably won't be, but thank you.
All right, you welcome.
Right.
Later.
All
right.
All right.
What they say in the chat? What's going on in the chat?
Ask Rico if he disagrees with Tree Dog or what she do. Well, he still said he supports her. So I mean,
he said he didn't agree with everything that he did say he did. I don't agree, but he's not vocal about it. But a lot of people dox. I'm not for doxing but sometimes people do so much that when doxing happens to them,
nice.
When doxing happens, you're like, okay, well, they're getting what they had coming to them after if you've posted people's dead relatives and you've done a lot of heinous things, if you get doxxed, I don't care that much. Listen, I'm not invested in what people are doing outside of YouTube. I'm just not. I can care less work at or who your relatives are. I'm not gonna go. That's too much energy to do all that.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of people feel like that's what they need to do. So I mean,
Yeah, that's why I say with docs because of things you've done to someone, and if they dox you because you've done some despicable things, well, that's just you've opened the door to that.
Right. No, I get that. I totally agree with that. You can't be mad if it comes your way if you open the door to that type of situation. Yeah, but like TC just said, after doxing, then what? What's the end game to that?
Right. And it's just, definitely what's the end game. But the thing is, doing parodies for me, okay, Bonnie, if you did a parody of me, okay. I mean, I don't have an issue with Rico. It's no beef with me and Rico. He's for Tracy. That's his right.
Right.
And okay, I mean, but I have my opinion, he has his opinion, and we're both adults.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
We're just having we're just having conversations, there's no one, notice there was no profanity or anything used, and no body parts were exposed. We're good.
Yeah, no body parts exposed. Please don't need that.
Unfortunately.
No. Fortunately, there was none. We like to keep it clean.
Yeah, I mean, this is Cap Hill. Okay, it's Cap Hill. I got to keep remembering that. You and Jay Wilson. Oh, God.
Please don't compare me. I am myself. At night, usually, if I do come on at night, usually that's when I'll probably amp it up a little bit as far as that's concerned. But during the day, come on, it's not that serious.
Especially when you get that little devilish grin on your face. I know it's,
What are you talking about?
Getting about to go off the track.
You know what? I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're in your feelings a little bit.
No, we got you.
It's okay. It's okay. And I'm here for it. You gotta always stay ready, and I stay on ready. And they were just questions. That's all. They were just questions. They weren't intrusive. I didn't, I don't think it went too deep. It was just light and entertaining.
Yeah, but I think it's even. Why does this have to be considered the beef sector? Why is it the beef sector? Where do we put beef sector in Google and it brings us to this sector?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I find when people say it. Oh, this is the beef sector. How do you find it? How did you find it? When people say, well, how did you end up here? You don't even seem like the type to be in this area. I did. I was just following people, and it was like, oh, you follow this person, you watch this person, watch these people's videos. And that's how I did it. It didn't say, oh, you like the mess. Here's some more messy people you would like to watch. Like it was making suggestions like Netflix. To answer Reed's question, Reed asks, what are my feelings on the N-word? I mean, I don't like it. And again, me being a history buff and all of the people who have died and was, lost their lives to that word, I just feel like it's a word that we, I think we dishonor it when we use it and talk about how we turned it into a word of empowerment. How could you? You could explain that to the tons of people that died from that word. You could try to tell them that you turned it around and used it for a word of empowerment, but I don't agree with that. I just agree that we need to find another word. If we can call each other kings and queens, which we should be doing, instead of N's and B's, maybe that would help. Because you can be the king and queen of your own kingdom. You don't necessarily have to, there ain't no one set empire that anybody needs to bow down to. So you can definitely be the king and queen of your own place.
Right. I agree with that. Definitely.
Run your own kingdom the way you choose to. He's always a sweetheart. I try to be until you get with it. But do you think that we're becoming too relaxed with the word? Yeah, definitely feel like we're becoming way too relaxed with the N word. It just rolls off people's tongues, and I think that that's a huge issue. Even with the B word, though, I've seen people get up in arms when men say it to women, but women say it to other women.
And then they say, well, we can say what we want to. It's like,
right.
But you can't sit up and make it like, don't be so offended by it. But then if a content creator say it, you're going right along with it because, yeah, I am a bad B.
Right.
And we can't get mad when other races use the N word when we're just freely saying it. I don't, because they've embraced our culture. So
they've embraced all of it. You know what I'm saying?
So
right.
They're not their grandparents saying the same word.
Right. Well, some of them.
Because you showed the clip.
It was just like, but I mean, just in that clip that I showed earlier, I'm sure that they listen to rap music and they say it, but they still have their beliefs and their stereotypes towards us. They just listen to the music because they like it. And and that's just how some people are. They may like the music, but they'll still, call you in a minute or think that you're less than human. So I don't know. It's just.
But it's like, why would you? Because I've heard in this sector, and I sit back and watch, and you could be like, don't refer to me as a B. Don't. And I've seen subscribers say this in content creators' chats. No, don't use the B word to me. But then when the content creators say I'm a bad B or I'm gonna be that B, they be like, yeah, girl, go ahead on. Yeah, we all. It's like,
yeah. So
all of a sudden, did I not see you say what you said? I mean, and it's just like you could call each other B's. I know a lot of women and homegirls and family but your boyfriend, if a boyfriend say, "What's up, B?" You're gonna be like, "What you call me?" No. My girlfriends can talk like that with me, but you can't talk to me like that.
And then some people do have those type of relationships where in which their closest friends, they may share or say certain things, but you set the level and boundaries to which you communicate with your people on. So if and that's for anybody. I'm not saying govern yourself how you choose to. Personally, I don't like it. Like I just feel like we do ourselves a disservice when we use it, and then we look at stuff like that video and go, what? That's crazy. How is it crazy?
But I think when we brought that up on the gentleman's panel, people were making it like, even when, like the whole go back to the F word, the B word, the N word. Me as a gay man, let me tell you my experiences. There's no way in hell you could tell me what my experiences are. As a man, I look at the N word and the F word as the same to me.
Right. But
people were trying to make a comparison with the F and the B word. My opinion is the F and the B word are not the same. We as gay men don't embrace being called the F word at all.
Well, I have heard people when they're angry.
Yeah,
they've said
we don't embrace it. We don't embrace it. We're not embracing it as a positive word of empowerment. We're not saying I'm the baddest F.
Right. Yeah.
But when Lizzo's song comes on, you're singing the song and you're saying you're a B.
Right. Yeah.
In some circumstances, the B word can be derogatory, but don't feed me a bunch of BS and say it's all the. A lot of Black women don't consider it derogatory. Some do.
Right.
And that's what are they saying? No, I mean, and there are women, again, hear me when I say this, so my words are not taken out of context. Some women don't like being called to be. There are people in my family don't like it. There are people in my family, are younger generation. Younger generations generally accept that word more than older generation. Like our mothers and grandmothers didn't like that word.
Right.
But millennials use the word like the N word.
Right.
Our grandfathers, our grandparents didn't use the N word like that. But the younger generation does. You're in denial if you're sitting up here saying they don't.
Right. Right. No, I agree with that. But just because they use it doesn't make it right. Is the question.
I agree. Yeah, I do agree. Just because the N word to me, I don't look at it as a positive word. I think of the base of it is a negative word, but it has a negative connotation. But people have, hell, that's like the black man sagging, with their pants sagging. In prison, that was saying you were available.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, if you get on here and say, well,
shout out to Lockup. I said, shout out to Lockup.
Right.
What's called.
But you can get on here and say, there are words that you find offensive. But when people are arguing, like, well, I hear gay men say the F word, but do you think they're saying it to be like, hey, to a friend? Is it like a term of endearment? You think they're using it in that way? When have you used it? When have you heard someone use it as a positive word? But when you hear B, there's women, some women greet them, they're homegirls like that.
Right. Be nice. It's really hard to change course sometimes. It is possible. But when you yeah, it is hard to but you have to just get into a mindset, I guess, of and sometimes it may slip up. Nobody's perfect, and you may slip up and come out, but you have to kind of always kind of strive for that mindset to kind of curve your way of thinking and find other words and other ways to express yourself.
Even like I could understand how women were offended by being called fish.
Right. I
could understand a woman being offended because a woman is not in our group of our culture, gay culture. So if they hear the word fish, they're like, wait, hold up, what the hell you call me?
Right.
Fish.
Right.
Women in my family.
Right.
But when you refer to a trans woman or a drag queen when they were doing a show and you said you are looking pure fish, they beam with pride. They're like, really? You think I am? Like
right. Do that? Right. Yeah.
They like,
and it just means you look like a woman. Yeah.
Right. That does me. And when I would hear the word, I never even thought of it. I never made the correlation between smelling.
Right. Yeah,
I never thought of it like that. When they said fish to me, I thought, it's funny as it may sound, I thought of like a mermaid. A mermaid is shaped like that. Exactly. I thought that's what they were trying to,
Right. Yeah. When I first heard it too, I didn't think fish like as in the smell or anything like that. I just thought maybe you meant, something else. But I didn't originally think it had anything to do with the smell of a fish.
Right. I didn't look at it like that. But of course, I can put myself in a woman's shoes and be like, I don't want to be referred to as no fish.
Right. Right. That too.
Leanne curse.
Leanne says she still thinks that's what it means.
What? Which part?
Fish, probably. Is what you were referring to.
Yeah, I'm saying you
like
think
mermaid or something.
Smell like fish or look like the mermaid part.
The mermaid thing. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and it does in different cultures and different factions of people. Words have different meanings. If a word that I used before that someone took offense to because they heard me say was heifer, and when I said, like I would talk to my cousin, I'd be like, what you heifers doing? My
Mhm.
grandmother would talk like that. That's like
Right.
old people would talk like that. And a white friend of mine said, "Oh my God, you called her a heifer?" Like she was thinking of a cow.
Right.
You know, so she was thinking I was saying that they were fat or something. And I was like, no, I wasn't saying it like that. It was like, you know, my grandmother would be like, I'm gonna go get on them heifers.
Right. Like my best friend, she tells me sometimes that her grandmother used to use this word and she doesn't like it to this day, but she would use the word trifling. And she would think it's the worst word ever to say, almost like using the N-word. And she doesn't like it when she hears it. But it's all in how in which, you know, a person was raised and brought up. So it's when we just don't pay attention to it and just let it just fly out, and there's no kind of thought behind it. And yeah, in times of anger, we don't think, we just lashing out and just blah 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 blah. But at some point, though, we have to be accountable for ourselves and what we spew out, especially here. Because on here is such a huge platform, regardless of what sector you're in, millions of people at some point will watch.
True.
And all that you say, they will ingest, whether they be young, old, somewhere in the middle, whatever it is. At some point, they will ingest it and they will, you know, take it. So you always got to be mindful of that.
Show is saying that's funny because he said the older generation used tramp.
Oh,
Tramp, and they used trifling. And,
right.
you know, that let me tell you what that little trifling heifer did. Or, you know, what you
Right,
help,
right.
y'all, them little heifers need to come in here.
Mhm.
But they would say them little heifers need to come in here. It was like, to me, I would say it meant like they little bad behinds. Like it would almost be like you saying those little bad little girls need to come in here. Them little heifers need to come inside this house.
Right, right. Or like being a fast tail or something like that.
Yeah. Fast tail and mannish.
Right.
Fast tail was the female version of mannish.
Right, right.
I mean, I was mannish.
Oh, you're not no more? Is that what you're trying to say?
I've been saved and delivered.
Oh.
Marshall in here. I'm trying to be. But
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's all I have. That's all I got. Nothing else.
Wenches. Oh, Patty Duke said my mother used to call us wenches.
Not wenches.
Yes, because you know what? And Patty Duke, my grandmother used to be like, I'm gonna whoop that little wench's butt.
Yeah.
And
I've heard smelling yourself.
thing.
Wenches, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Not the family heifer though.
Right. The little family heifer.
Well, guys, it has been
TC
enjoyable as always. What did TC say?
No, but who was I being delivered to though?
Right. That's a question for a time for another show. But anyway, as always, thank you guys for joining for another episode of the recap. For those of you who came in late or will watch it on the replay, thanks for joining. Make sure you still hit that thumbs up button on your way in or out. As always, it's always been a pleasure to hang out with you guys. And what'd she say?
Rebel, I think sagging your pants mean you're available.
Yeah, well, that's what it meant in jail. That's what they said.
Yeah, I think, or either you got a fat set of cakes.
Well, I mean, if you display it, people gonna see it and they gonna look.
That's right. Put them on. So I was told I had little Debbie snack cakes though.
What? No family size? No, just individuals.
No, it's definitely a mouthful. And Lynn T, you and just don't say nothing. And TC.
But anyway, And they look at too like they want to.
Right.
See? Mm-mm. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for participating. And until next week, please be on the lookout for this week. Of course, the midday news, Monday through Friday. On Thursday, it will be the gentleman's panel on your platform, correct?
It will be,
Yep.
yes,
So
on my
it will be
reservation.
on
Home tribe.
yes, home of the Sun Tribe.
Yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Chief Rebel Sun.
Yes, I am. People there. But all are welcome. All are welcome.
Yeah, so please make sure that you jot that down in your calendars. So when the reminder does come up, that you set it. The gentleman's panel will be Thursday on Rebel Sun's platform.
6:45 Standard Time.
Yes, that's right. Time is still the same. So 6:45 Central Standard Time and 7:45 Eastern Standard, and what would that make it about 5 something?
5:40.
Time.
Like 2 hours behind. I think they're 2 hours.
Yeah, they're 2 hours behind you, 3 hours behind me. So yeah, that's all I got. So again, thank you guys for coming out. God bless and good night. In the words of Russell Simmons, peace. I'm out.